Hi Mindsetters, welcome back from that really quick fast break. I wasn't even ready for that, sure. I know that you guys are on the ball on Facebook and I'm really enjoying the interaction between you. The questions are all up. Every question that Haley has done today, what you can do is that you can actually write them down or just save them on your phone because it is on Facebook or on your computer, or print them if you have that and do them as revision as the year progresses as well. So for your exams, you are so ready, it won't be funny. Over to you, Haley.
Thanks, Katlego. Okay, so we were busy with time and I was explaining that we can do things more than one way. The most important thing when you're answering a question now that you're doing exams is make sure that your teacher and your examiner actually knows what you're saying and can follow your train of thought. I always say to my kids that I teach, if you write it so that I can understand it, I'll probably find the marks. So let's carry on with time. Right, we've got a plane takes off from OR Tambo at International Airport at 7:35 a.m. and travels for 2 hours and 20 minutes. At what time does the plane land in Cape Town? So what we're doing is we're just adding time. We've got 7:35 and we're going to add 2 hours and 20 minutes and we're going to add, and I'm going to add it across like down like this. What is important to note that every time, okay, so we've got 5, 5 and 9, but what is important to note is that when you go past 60, you need to add another hour. So let's quickly do another one that I know is not on the board. But let's assume that we left at 7:35 in the morning and we flew for maybe 3 hours and 40 minutes. Let's try that. So I'm going to add my 5 and then I've got 3 and 4, which is 7. Okay, I'm going to leave it like that for now, and then 3 and 7 is 10. But I can't go 10 hours and 75 minutes. That actually makes it another whole hour. So I'm going to minus 60 from here, a little bit more space, to just show you, whoops, that is in actual fact 15 minutes and it needs to be 11 hours. So just remember that your time is always out of 60 and it is not out of 100. Just makes it a little bit kind of more challenging. Okay, let's move on to the next section. So our next section is conversion. We need to convert between units, and remember you can use King Henry. I think I did that with them when we were teaching. But the conversions, what's most important is I always tell my kids, you have this little cheat with you because you've got a ruler. And from your ruler, so I'm quickly going to do conversion. From your ruler, you know that 10 millimeters is 1 centimeter. And we know that centimeters is also a unit of 10. We know it's not 10. So 100 centimeters is 1 meter, because it's kind of like a big step. And if you had to take your ruler and measure it, you'll see that it's about 100. And a kilometer is even bigger than that. So it's 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer. And then what's important is when we go from a big number to a small number, I'm going from 10 to 1, I divide, and from small number to a big number, I multiply. Now, if you can write that out on your paper, it'll make things a whole lot easier. Oh, let's do the conversions. 0.33 meters to centimeters. So I'm going to get out a different color. I'm going along that line. I'm going from meters to centimeters, which means I need to multiply, and I'm multiplying by 100. So it is 0.33 times by 100. And funnily enough, this number came up earlier. And that was 33 centimeters. 33 centimeters. Don't forget to add your units. There's always a reference. Right, let's do the next one. 452 millimeters to meters. So I'm going to try delete this line. Move it and delete it. Let's get a different color. Right, I'm going from millimeters to meters. In fact, I always want to go from one side of this table to the other. So, and I'm going from this side, I need to divide. I'm going from there to there, I'm going to divide. So I'm going to take my 452 and I'm going to divide it by, to get to centimeters, by 10. And then to get to meters, so I go back there by 100. So I'm dividing by 1,000. And I get the answer. You can do this on your calculator, 0,452. 0,452, and remember your units. Okay, 4,5 liters to milliliters. Well, similar to meters, and there are 1,000. So this is actually an important fact. There are 1,000 milliliters in 1 liter. And you know what? I always think about things that I know. Like think about, I've got a bottle of water, which is, bring into studio, 750 mils. I know it's just less than a liter. Or think about milk. Milk you buy either in liter or 2 liter bottle. How many glasses? So you realize that it's 1,000 milliliters in a liter. So 4,5 liters to milliliters, I'm going to times by 1,000, and I'll get 4,500 milliliters. And then lastly, I've got a cube has a volume of that many centimeters cubed. What is the volume of the cube in meters cubed? Now, when we're converting cubed values, we need to do the conversion 3 times. So I'm going to be dividing, because I'm going from centimeters to meters. So I'm going to take my answer, 125,000, and I'm going to be dividing by 100 actually cubed. Now on your calculator you can write this as 100 times 100 times 100, or in actual fact that is 1,000,000. So we are dividing by 1,000,000. So if you have a scientific calculator, you can say 125 and then 1, 2, 3 zeros, divide by 100 cubed. And if you don't, you can use by 1,000,000. So it's 0,125. So that answer is 0,125. And what are we now dealing with? Meters cubed. Don't forget your units. I think I've got time to go on to finding measurements. So let's look at this question. It says, find the surface area and volume of the cylinder, which has a diameter of 6 centimeters and a height of 15 centimeters. Now I always like to draw the diagram. So I'm going to quickly draw it. Let's find the space here. Whoops, too far. So I have a, what did it tell me? It told me I had a radius. Did it say radius or diameter? It had a diameter of 6 centimeters and it had a height of 15. So first step, whenever you've got a cylinder, is first work out the radius. So remember our radius is our diameter divided by 2. So our radius is 3 centimeters. Now let's work out our surface area first. Let's actually find a little bit more space. Our surface area, and remember they're going to give you the formulas. Your surface area is 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h. Always write out the formula, it also helps. And we're going to substitute. Right, so that is 2 times pi times my radius squared plus 2 times pi times my radius times my height. And then on your calculator you can just do that quite simply. We're going to do, let's clear that, right, I've got 2 times pi times by 3 squared plus 2 times pi times 3 times 15, and we get an answer of 100. And don't forget that if you've got a scientific calculator, you need to convert that to values. It's 339,3. 339,3. 339,3. And what was that? It was centimeters squared. Surface areas were squared. I think I've got time to do the volume. What do you say? Volume of my cylinder is pi r squared, whoops, times the height. That's my volume. So, again, we're going to substitute. A little bit more space. Pi times my radius times my height, my radius squared. And again, type that into your calculator. Look out for questions where they say use pi equals 3,14. This just makes it easier for your examiner to mark if you use the directions that they've given you. But let's assume we don't, so we've got pi times 3 squared times by the height of 15, and we get 424,11. 424,11. What were we dealing with? Centimeters. And remember, it's volume, it's three-dimensional, so it is cubed. So don't forget your units. They really, really are important. So have I got time to go on to the next question, do you think?
What's the next question on this? Or a
Next
whole other
question, I think I've got tables and equations.
Okay.
Should we try this quickly? I know what our time is. Okay, we don't have time to go on to the next question, but we're
Okay.
going to put it onto Facebook. So what we haven't done is tables and equations and probability, but those are the last few lessons. So I think that you guys can manage on your own, and good luck for your exams. Katlego, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Haley. Thank you for that awesome show. Thank you, grade 10s. Remember that although the live shows won't be on, we will be back on the 16th of July, and there's also winter school from the 13th to the 15th. So download all your schedules, all your books, so that you have them with you all the time. So we'll see you after the holiday, and from us, have a great holiday and study really hard. And we'll be back for grade 11 after the break. Bye.